I dye myself in Lord's color and sew what ought to be sewed. Without the Lord's name, I cannot live even for a moment. I perform worship and sing God's praises. All the 24 hours I meditate on the Lord. My needle is of gold and thread of silver. Nama's heart is attached to God. Asa, snake casts off his skin, but not his venom. Thou art like heron that fixes his attention on the fish in water. What for thou performest meditation and recitation when thine own mind is not pure? One who lives in tigers' food, plunder, and cruelty, that person is called as God of murderers. Namas, Lord has settled the strife, O deceitful one, drink thou Lord's elixir. Asa, he who contemplates the Supreme Lord, other desire shall not appeal to him. The Lord's devotional service shall keep the mind free from anxiety. O myself, how shalt thou cross over the world ocean filled with the water of vice? Beholding the false worldly valuables, thou hast gone astray, O my mind. Thou hast given me birth in the dyer's home, but Guru's teaching was received by me. So by grace of the holy saint, Nama has met his Lord. Asa, hymns of Venerable Ravidas. The creator of all is one, the only one. He is realized by true Guru's grace. The deer, the fish, the humming bee, the moth, and the elephant, each by one evil are ruined. He in whom are 5 incurable evils, what hope is there for him? O Lord, man is in love with spiritual ignorance. His lamp of discrimination has become dim. The creeping creatures have thoughtless existences and cannot discriminate between good and evil. Human birth is very valuable and difficult to obtain, yet therein man associates with the low. The men and lower animals, wherever they are born subject to their past deeds. The death unfailing news shall cling to them, which can by no means be warded off. O slave Ravidas, dispel thy sorrow and doubt and practice Guru's teachings, the penance of penances. O Lord, the annuler of fears of thine devotees, grant me supreme bliss in the end. Asa, thine saints are thy body, and their company is my life. By the true Guru's teachings, I deem the saints as gods of gods. O Lord of the gods, grant me company of the saints, the relish of saints' discourse and love in devotion to them. Grant me also saints' character, the way of their life, and the service of the servants of the saints. I pray for one thing more, the desire fulfiller gem of thy devotion. Show me not the face of the wicked and the sinner. Ravidas says, he alone is wise who understood this, that between the saints and the infinite Lord there is no difference. Asa, thou art sandal, and I am poor castor plant, dwelling close to thee. From a lowly tree I have become sublime, and thine fragrance, exquisite fragrance, now abide in me. O Lord, I have taken shelter in thine saints' holy company. I am full of faults, and thou art gracious. Thou art the white tanned yellow silk thread, and I am like a poor worm. O Lord, grant that in saint holy company I abide as bees in honey comb. My caste is low, my lineage is low, and low is my birth. I have not performed the service of the sovereign Lord, says Ravidas the cobbler. Asa, what does it matter if my body is cut into many pieces? If I lose thy love, O Lord, then alone thy slave feels fear. Thine lotus feet are the home of my mind. By drinking the name nectar, I have obtained the Lord's wealth. Property, adversity, and wealth are mere delusions. In them thy servant, O Lord, is not absorbed. Thy slave is bound with the rope of thy love. Ravidas says, what advantage is there in escaping therefrom? Asa, by constantly repeating God's name, the God's devotees swim across. By God's name, Kabir became renowned. The account papers of his past birth were torn up. As a matter of devotion, Namdev made the master drink milk, wherefore He suffered not the pain of being born again in the world. Slave Ravidas is imbued with the Lord's love. Like this, by Guru's grace, he shall not go to hell. The puppet of clay, how does it dance? He beholds, hears, speaks, and runs about. When he acquires something, then he is inflated with ego. When his wealth is gone, then he begins to bewail. By the thought in his mind, his words, actions, he is attracted to various kinds of sweet and saltish pleasures. When he dies, he goes and is absorbed elsewhere. Ravidas says, Brother, this world is a play. I have contracted affection